to learn how to use the Geogebra spreadsheet feature so that we can work with it in class. I believe this is the easiest function to work with. It's better than our graphing calculator when we can work with computers and our cell phones, and it's a lot more user-friendly for the type of graphing that we have to do than Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. So you're going to hopefully eventually see this right on the school website, but until then, go to geogebra.org/classic, and then your little pound symbol in the middle, and then the word spreadsheet afterwards. So this screen will come up. The left-hand side looks like a typical Excel spreadsheet, and they do provide you with a coordinate grid right away. We don't need that, so I'm going to click off of that. You click this button in the top right, and then there's 3 vertical dots right next to it, and we're just going to close it out. So this area works just like a regular spreadsheet. You can add a title. Let's say we're looking at the heights of students in our class, and you can easily copy and paste data into here from either a Google form, a website, or a Microsoft Excel document. But since we don't have anything in front of us, let's just say we have a few heights of students. Let's go in inches just to make it easy to work with. Okay, you get the general idea. So we can highlight that column going up and down, and if we want to look at that as a graphical representation, all you have to do is click on this button right above your spreadsheet, and for now we're going to select one variable analysis. Okay, and you'll see the first option that comes up is a histogram. That's one form that we've learned to work with, and you can easily adjust your bin width by dragging this up and down, and you can see the different forms of that, and we've talked about that in class, how that works. We have a box plot, a dot plot, which is the most simple graph, and a stem and leaf plot. Now there are a few other options, but we won't use those for this course. So these are very helpful and quick ways to do a lot of the things that are often tedious by hand, especially if we have very large data sets. The other nice thing that this program has is if you click this summation button in the right hand side, you end up with the summary statistics right in the middle of your screen here. So it's a lot faster to do all these things than working on your graphing calculator, especially if you have the situation where you can just download or copy and paste your data right into the spreadsheet. So that's really, really powerful, and it makes this work a lot more efficiently. Now the last thing I'll do before we close out is I often will say that it's very useful to look at data in 2 different graphical forms in case you have some unusual features that may show up in one form but not the other. Typically, the easiest thing if you're using technology is to have one form being a dot plot and then the other being a histogram or a box plot, something that puts things in groups more easily. So you can do that nicely on this program by clicking these 2 bars on the right hand side. I would again highlight, it's a little clunky in the beginning, highlight your column again, and then often you have to kind of move around to different graphs before you get the one you want. The first time it doesn't load right away. So I usually like a dot plot and a box plot to compare those things. I feel like those representations work nicely. So here you have it. And you'll notice this popped up here. You can either copy these to a clipboard to copy and paste to different programs, or you can export these graphs as a picture and use them for different presentations. And you'll see nicely that the scale is the same for both, and you can adjust some of the settings by clicking on the star button. So a very useful tool, and we'll see some more options on this program as the year goes forward.